Wife, F30, wants proof, I M30 love her. Hi Reddit, I M30. I'm stuck in a repeatedly depressing conversation with my wife, F30, who my marriage is at a low point with, plenty of other posts on this in my history. Currently struggling with a wife who needs proof, I love her. When I explain all the care and commitment I put into our relationship, she will say, you shouldn't have to list things, it makes it sound like a chore. The thing is, I wasn't listening things until she said she wanted proof. She said she should just feel unconditional love. I respond to that by saying, love is a verb, and I'm doing my best every day with my actions. I've asked her to look for the love, but she said she shouldn't have to, she should just feel it. It follows other conversations where she will ask, why do you love me? I feel like between these two things I'm apparently meant to do the work for both of us, in such that I need to identify why I should love her, but also why she should love me. It's painful, I don't know how much more I can take. I just need some unbiased advice on what to do in this situation. Your wife sounds incredibly insecure and unrealistic. This isn't a Hallmark movie. It's real life. Sometimes there will be lulls and uneventful times. Both parties in a relationship have to work at it. Both parties have to find the spark. She should have to look for the love sometimes and find a way to appreciate the little gestures you do. And it's not fair to put the burden on you all the time. It is not reasonable for your wife to expect grand gestures every single day. She probably needs a limit on her social media, as it sounds like she's comparing curated content to real life. Based on all the posts about her where you repeatedly mention how unhappy she makes you, how she is not a safe space for you, etc., when will it be enough for you to leave? What more do you need? Another child? Just leave. You're 30, you have so many good years ahead of you. Please get a divorce. I read your post history, and she won't even let you have a bank account. I know you love your daughter, but do you want her to think it's okay to treat you like this? Hell, your wife might even treat your daughter like this too. Document everything. Take your daughter with you. Your wife is abusive, and it will never get better. Can I ask what might be a dumb question? What can you do to help her feel loved? Feels like she is telling you how she feels. You're responding with evidence that her feelings don't reflect reality, and you're both right and wrong at the same time. You cannot be responsible for her feelings, only your actions. However, that doesn't mean her feelings don't reflect that she needs something from you and isn't getting it. You need a much deeper conversation than what was posted here. Both of you need to listen and speak clearly, and that is much more difficult than it sounds. Love is both a verb and a noun. But your wife is clearly unhappy, and so is turning her dissatisfaction with life against you. It's probably time for some marriage counseling. If my wife asked me that, then I would believe that no matter what I say, she would truly believe that I don't love her. The way I see it, your wife is not feeling the spark for you, so she's turning it around and gaslighting you. That's not love, bro. A person that loves you doesn't play emotional games like she's playing with you. You have every right to want to leave her if she continues making you feel like SHD. What should my 34M plan be for my wife 32F to help her without being a punching bag? My 34M wife 32F is in an extremely tough situation at work that is causing her lots of pain mentally, stress, and physically, hair loss. She is well compensated, and we depend on her salary and my salary to afford our home and expenses, so it is not as easy as just quitting, as there aren't any other jobs in her field that would pay the same amount or within 30% of what she makes now. She keeps putting the blame on me, saying, you keep letting me walk back into that building when you know it is killing me. If I tell her just to quit and we can downsize and move into something smaller, she doesn't want to change her life because that would be them winning. I find it harder and harder to talk to her, and she ends up raising her voice at me and blaming me for everything. I have told her she needs therapy for some of this, as I am not equipped to handle it. She refuses to go and says I signed up for this, in sickness and in health. She left the house this morning, angry at me, saying when I get home from work, don't walk through the doors unless you have a plan. I want to help, but I also can't take all the blame. What should my plan be when I get home tonight? She keeps putting the blame on me, saying, you keep letting me walk back into that building when you know it is killing me. If I tell her just to quit and we can downsize and move into something smaller, she doesn't want to change her life because that would be them winning. Tell her this and ask her what she wants you to do. What plan doesn't she expect from you? What is her role in coming up with this plan? This sounds like a problem that both of you, but primarily she, needs to resolve. My guess is no matter what you tell her, she won't be happy. If she hates her job that much, the most logical situation is for her to quit and take a job with a smaller salary. The part you two would have to resolve together is how to change your lives to deal with less money. Again, not sure what she expects from you or why this is all on you. She wants you to earn more so she can quit without sacrificing your family's lifestyle. Ask her what she wants you to actually do. You can't magically make her job suck less, and she's refused all your potential solutions. So what does she want from you that you're not doing? This is not on you, it's on her. Despite that, I see how tough this is for you. She won't quit, she won't go to therapy, she won't change her lifestyle. You get to say to her, I have given you my best advice. If you refuse to consider it, there is nothing more I can do. It's on you. Realize that this situation affects me, too, and the longer you refuse to act, the less support I will be able to offer. In sickness and in health. When you make that vow, you expect your partner to take actions to get better, not to wallow. You can't make her job more bearable for her. The only plan you can make is downsizing. It sounds like you guys are house poor anyway. I 28F struggling in my relationship with gamer boyfriend 27M. I'm a flight attendant, so I'm usually gone 3 to 4 days at a time. When I'm away, I'm busy with work and layovers, and he's home working and spending time on his computer, gaming or watching football. I genuinely thought this dynamic would work well for us, since it would allow us both to have some self-care time and keep a balance in our relationship. The issue is that when I come home, nothing changes. He gets home from work, eats, and immediately goes on his computer. I usually end up alone in our bedroom watching TV, waiting for him to come to bed. He'll sometimes come in briefly to check on me. But most nights he stays on his computer until 1 or 2 a.m. When he finally comes to bed, he often initiates intimacy, but once he finishes, he either goes straight to sleep or sometimes even goes back to his game. It leaves me feeling like an afterthought instead of a partner. Even on our days off, we'll lay in bed together for a bit after waking up, but the first thing he does once he gets up is turn on his computer. On top of that, I do most of the cleaning. He regularly leaves clothes and messes around, and I end up picking up after him. I think this adds to my resentment because I already feel emotionally alone, and then I also feel like I'm carrying more of the household responsibility. I've expressed how lonely and frustrated this makes me feel. We're struggling financially, and he says there's nothing else we can do since we can't afford to go out. I completely understand that, which is why I suggest free things. Watching a movie together, listening to music, talking, or even just being in the same room. His response is usually that he spent a lot of money on his computer and wants to enjoy it. When I get upset or sad, he jumps straight to saying he'll sell it, which isn't what I'm asking for. I don't want to control his hobbies, I just want our relationship to feel like a priority too. Recently, our arguments have become more frequent, and there's more anger on both sides. I don't know how else to communicate my feelings without getting really upset, and I hate that it's turning into fights instead of conversations. He did move out of state to be with me, and I don't take that lightly. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but I also didn't expect to feel this alone when I'm home with my own partner. Lately, I've thought about leaving, but I'm struggling financially and feel guilty even considering it after he moved for me. Am I asking for too much? How do you address emotional neglect and imbalance without things escalating into anger? I've been there and left. You deserve better. I'm sorry you are going through this. You seem like you are parenting your BF, picking up after him, and I'm sure doing more than your share of house chores when you aren't there as much as he. It's not easy leaving. I used to miss the guy I left because when it was good it was really good. I wanted to marry him and raise a family with him. Together for 4 years. He never put me first or in the top 5. I deserved better, and so do you. Yeah, that's not even a relationship. He's treating you like a bang maid. Honestly, if he's going to offer you nothing but a mess around the house, you're better off single. I'm a gamer. I spend a lot on my tech. I would not even dream of ignoring you when you come home after being gone for days at a time, or not cleaning up after myself. This is about balance, and he doesn't have it. If he really cannot see that he needs to nurture your relationship, then it might be time for you to move on. If now is not the time financially, then I'd least think about centering myself in the relationship until you find the means to move. Stop cleaning up after him, cooking for him, and having sex with him. It's not okay for him to take all he needs from the relationship / you and not meet your needs in return. You aren't asking for too much. Firstly, please move far far away from the idea that because he moved states to follow you, that you owe it to him to stay, or that he no longer has to try at the relationship. He's a grown man. He made his decision to move. If breaking up with you would devastate him geographically, that is the risk he decided to take, and even more reason why he should be making the relationship work. Things could get better, but only if he wanted to. He's addicted to his computer. He's not a bad person for that, but he is a shit boyfriend. If he isn't willing to change it, you need to leave. Give yourself a chance to be happy. You have nothing to feel guilty about. You've tried. I 28F struggling in my relationship with gamer boyfriend 27M. What relationship? You /not nuts put it best. He's treating you like a bang maid. If you want better, hold out for better. The problem is you can't make him alter his behaviors, and you'll never have that power. You can't control your partner's choices, but you can control your choice of partner. My ex was a gamer too, and had very similar patterns. It was always an argument for us, not because he had a hobby, but because it seemed to be more of a priority than our intimacy, time together, and helping with shared responsibilities. I also moved out of state for him and didn't want to leave after a big sacrifice like that. What I learned, though, is that if it isn't working, it becomes more of a sacrifice to stay in the relationship. All you can do is have the conversation, see if he changes, and if he doesn't, you can't wait for him to start caring. BFM22 is jealous of me liking fictional characters F21. How do I help him stop being jealous? I understand the feeling of jealousy and why a person would get jealous if their partner were interacting with another person. But in this case, I'm left a bit confused and wondering how I could stop it. I've always been a big romance geek and would enjoy watching, reading, and playing media based on romance. I would play dating games before in the past and would like fictional characters based off their stories. When I met my boyfriend, I focused my attention onto him and wasn't fully focused on that type of media as I used to. I still like consuming the media. I used to be really into the games and would have cute wallpapers or small things based off them. My partner, however, didn't like it, as he rarely likes me mentioning a guy's name. I know he's very jealous and has stated he doesn't like me saying another guy's name. It's not like I had any guy friends, so this wasn't really a problem for me. It's clear he gets upset whenever I mention a guy I interacted with, and my immediate thought was to express my disdain in the person. There's never a moment where I've ever thought about having interest in another person, so it didn't mind to reassure him. I've been hit on a couple of times, but I wouldn't say I'm all that. The big problem arises when I mention how I like a fictional character that happens to be male. He gets jealous and closes off. He isn't big on communicating his feelings, so it's a challenge to see what I can do to help. I've given constant reassurance to him, and have always tried my best to make him feel comfortable and secure in our relationship. I don't know what else to do. I've deleted the game that he expressed he didn't like, changed my phone theme I worked hard on, deleted media I saved from the game, and other things, but he still gets jealous. I like the games, shows, and books. I think they're comforting because they've been a part of my life for so long. They make me happy, and I'm genuinely interested in them. None of them are anything sexual, it's just cute romance. I think they're attractive, but I've never been attracted to the character because they're not real. I want him to feel more secure and less jealous in the relationship, but don't know how. I need help. This just sounds like a him problem. Do not date people that don't trust you. This boy needs to see a professional and get help for his jealousy, insecurity, and controlling behavior. Like yesterday. You can't say another man's name without him getting jealous? What in the actual fuck is that? That is not normal, that is not okay, and it is likely going to get worse. It is not normal to get jealous when your partner is interacting with another person, and whoever told you that it is a liar. His jealousy and insecurity are his to solve, even when he's making it your problem. If he doesn't take the steps to hem it all in, this relationship won't survive. Stop deleting games, shows, and books you like. That's the first step. He's trying to make you mentally shrink until your only thoughts are ever all about him. That's not healthy or natural. You cannot make him feel more secure and less jealous. That is on him. It won't get better until he acknowledges that accusing someone of cheating, or just plain sulking because you enjoy romance media, is the problem, and does something about it, like checking himself or going to therapy. Do not make your imagination/inner life smaller for someone else's comfort. For the record, you are also allowed to have male friends and co-workers and talk about them sometimes without him melting down. He is weaponizing his insecurity to manipulate you. Please think about that. This is way over the top, and I'm not sure there's anything more you will be able to do to appease or reassure him. And unless he learns how to deal with his own feelings, this will never get better. He will just keep making more and more extreme demands until you stop putting up with it. How long have you been dating? Only skimmed. Leave this dude and hit up the next Comic-Con while on Tinder and find someone who lives for this as much as you.